AMD Meet the Experts. Today, an exclusive look at partner products, a showcase of the new am5 motherboards. Today, we hear what's coming from partners like asus, asrock, MSI, Gigabyte, and biostar on how their am5 motherboards introduce cutting-edge features to the market. Again, welcome to AMD Meet the Experts. This is our partner webinar series discussing everything from consumer laptops to gaming desktops to commercial products such as professional graphics and the data center. These webinars help empower you to be an expert as you sell and market to our customers. So thank you again for tuning in live. This webinar will be made available on demand following the live broadcast. So just be aware of that. I, of course, am your host, Ryan Sagar. You can find me here on social media. Want to thank you all for tuning in live and joining this webinar. On your screen, you'll see the agenda. So there it is, the agenda. We're going to move fast because we have 5 speakers today. At the end of the presentations, we will get to a question and answer. Before we do anything, though, I want to talk a little bit about your console. We have multiple. I've got somebody in the room pushing my slides. So we have, of course, on your dashboard, you'll see a bunch of windows on your screen. These all coincide with the icons on the bottom of your screen. I just want to point special attention to that question and answer window on your screen. That's going to be your opportunity to ask a question to our experts. I see a number of you already asking questions. So please go there and ask your question, and we're going to try to answer those at the end of the presentations. We also have a resource list where you can find this presentation deck at the top of that resource list, including a number of other resources related to today's presenters. We also want to encourage you to join our upcoming webinars. Next week, we'll be talking about AMD software, that AMD noise suppression. The following week, we will have Samsung joining us to talk about next-gen server performance. So I encourage you to go register for those. We even have more than just that, which you can find at the Meet the Experts page in the resource list. And finally, before you go, make sure you fill out that survey. You're going to want to we want to hear your feedback about these webinars in that survey. If you have to leave early, submit it early. If you stick around for the whole webinar, it'll pop up on your screen at the conclusion of the presentation and the broadcast. Today, what are we talking about? The AM5 ecosystem solutions, flagship AM5 motherboards, and the next frontier of Ryzen motherboards. We've got a lot on our plate. Here are our speakers. We're going to meet them before they get started with their presentation. But before we do anything, we always like to start with a poll question. So let's hear from all of you. What features are you most excited about with the x670 and x670e? Is it the PCIe 5.0, the DDR5, super speed USB, Wi-Fi 6E? We're going to see the results after we hear from our special presenter, Aaron Mayorino from AMD is going to talk a little bit about these AM5 motherboards. Aaron?
Awesome, and hello everybody, and thanks for joining us. We are all thrilled to be talking about our new next-gen platform with AMD's socket AM5. And with this new socket AM5, we really designed a platform for flexibility, customization that's out there, and all really ready and built for the future of what's to come with technology. So with this socket, probably one of the biggest differences you'll see is we're transitioning from a micro PGA that we had with our socket AM4 to an LGA now to really drive more power and more signal integrity that's out there for all these new high-speed IOs that we're bringing to the table. And then we're pairing this with our new processor infrastructure groups that can support all the way up to 170 watt TDP that's out there. And then, of course, these sockets integrate all those new next-gen IOs that are out there, including things like dual-channel DDR5 memory, and really driving the most PCIe Gen 5 lanes from the processor to the socket that's available in the industry right now. And with socket AM4, with socket AM4 previously, we've developed a really robust cooler ecosystem that's out there, whether you're somebody who likes air cooling, liquid cooling, even passive cooling designs out there. And with socket AM5, these will be compatible with those AM4 coolers out there. And just as I mentioned before, with this platform, we are driving 24 lanes of PCIe 5.0 for those maximum bandwidth that is out there. This is the most in the industry that's out there right now. And this also supports up to 14 USB ports, including that high speed, super speed, 20 gigabits per second USB that's out there, and also Type-C connections as well. And then we also know for our users, connectivity is extremely important out there. So with these motherboards, you can get support with Wi-Fi 6E, as well as 4 independent display outputs that are connected directly to that integrated RDNA2 graphics that we have in this Ryzen 7000 series. So on this call today, we are focused on our top of the line motherboards that we have for socket AM5, the x670e and the x670. Both of these do have PCI Gen 5 support that is out there as well. You can overclock on these, both your CPU and your memory. And I'm going to, enough of me talking. I want to turn it over to our presenters here so they can walk you through all the fantastic designs they have for these chipsets.
Before we do that, let's take a look at our results. Aaron, what do you think about this? Most people are excited about the PCIe 5.0 and the DDR5. Was that what you expected?
It kind of is, we're bringing that wider, more bandwidth that's out there to connect, for the most advanced NVMEs that are coming, future-proofing, getting ready for the GPUs as well. So this is really a killer platform that can support both of those technologies.
Well, thanks, Aaron. We'll be joining you with the Q&A, and I'll have you help monitor that as we get our presenters up. First up, we're going to be joined by JJ, who is with Asus. He's the product marketing manager there. He's been with the company for the past 10 years and has been an enthusiast for over 15 years. So I will pass it to JJ. JJ, the floor is all you. Let's get started.
Thank you so much, Ryan. It's fantastic to be able to join us here at the Meet the Experts and be able to actually talk about how ASUS is going to be supporting the AM5 platform launch. Of course, being the world's largest motherboard manufacturer, we're always excited when these opportunities come, especially for such a performant series platform and Ryzen 7000 series processors. So we're going to be talking about the Crosshair series, which is our flagship gaming series under the ROG line. Specifically, we're going to actually be talking about 2 different boards within our stack here, the ROG Crosshair x670 Extreme, as well as the ROG Crosshair Hero, which actually you can see right next to me. It's a fantastic series of boards that we're going to be offering, which really are going to kind of be dialing down to be able to offer the experience that ROG boards have been known for in terms of a premium design aesthetic, of course, high quality, innovative feature set, and of course, I think very performant Orient-based designs. We're also going to be touching on a few other kind of really cool points in terms of what we're doing for the boards in terms of power delivery to be able to complement this next generation base marker architecture, connectivity, of course, which we've already been laying the foundation with in terms of what Aaron spoke to in terms of DDR5 support, as well as, of course, PCI Gen 5. We're going to talk a little bit about some improvements that we've made in terms of our Supreme Effects audio design, and then some really cool DIY-centric improvements with our Asus Q design, which is a really set of awesome features to really be able to improve upon the build experience. So first up here, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the actual boards. And you can see that from a high level, the actual design aesthetic, it's really following the design language that we've now set for a number of years, which is really clean and refined when it comes to an ROG board. It's monochromatic, so it's not designed to contend or compete with your system in terms of whatever colors you want to define for your build. So if you want to go ahead and do that through RGB lighting, through custom cables, through paint, through whatever it might be, you can go ahead and evolve your system's look and feel. And the great thing is, of course, with ROG, we have really specialized design aesthetics implemented to really be able to allow you to evolve the overall look and feel, with the Extreme board featuring our Anime display matrix technology, as well as on the Hero featuring our Polymo RGB lighting display technology. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in a second here. Now, first up, we want to actually take a look here at our flagship series board, which is going to be the Crosshair x670e Extreme. This board is really special in terms of the overall kind of feature set and functionality that it's going to be affording. When you take a look right off the bat, the actual I/O is quite impressive. This is actually one of the #1 reasons why actually people adopt Crosshair series boards is the extensive I/O. And you can see here we're really leveraging what the chipset and the CPU allows for. So there's a total of 12 USB ports just here on the rear, and these are all high-speed ports. And take a look, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rear Type-C ports. And here we're going beyond just the standard 20 gigabits, but we're also actually implementing USB 4 technology support, and we're also leveraging that integrated RDNA graphics by giving you actually DisplayPort over Type-C. So you can also go ahead and take advantage of the onboard graphics capability. Of course, you're going to be able to have the next generation of high-speed networking. That's going to be present with 10G LAN, 2.5 gig LAN, and Wi-Fi 6E, along with Bluetooth 5.2. And of course, that complements our latest generation of RG Rapture routers, which also have 2.5 gig, 10 gig, and Wi-Fi 6E. You can see that really big, bold, dynamic anime display matrix, which you can go ahead and put GIFs, animations, text. You can even synchronize its lighting through our actually Armory Crate software, and it's part of that ASUS Aura RGB-enabled experience. We take it further by also maintaining our OLED Live Dash display, which allows you to have real-time stat readout. So you can see things like frequency, voltages, temperatures, and so much more. That's all going to be present. And of course, with that EATX form factor, we're also taking advantage of that perimeter side profile by even giving you another accent point in terms of RGB lighting. And you've got tons of additional, of course, RGB headers on the board to be able to connect things like our Tough Gaming ARGB fans or chassis fans or anything else that you're going to want to be able to really kind of evolve the look and feel for the system. Now, we talked, of course, about M.2, and here we're going to have you covered with up to 5 M.2 based SSDs being supported on this board. You can see here, we're going to complement that, of course, with PCI Gen 5 support for graphics. So either which way, whether you want to be able to have the highest performant graphics-based solutions or you want to go with the highest speed, of course, PCIe NVMe-based solutions, you're going to be covered. Now, moving over to the Hero has really kind of been a benchmark within the enthusiast community. It's actually the #1 most submitted board generation after generation for AMD enthusiasts. So we actually look at HWBot, X370, X470, X570 was the #1 most submitted enthusiast-centric board, and we're looking to really maintain that kind of leadership position of being able to offer enthusiasts an outstanding experience here. So with the Hero, you're going to see that we drop down to a standard ATX-based form factor, but you're still going to have that really nice refined design aesthetic. And I would also want to note here that you might be able to see a little bit more closely at the board that I have right here next to me, which is the Hero, that even without any RGB lighting, if you're not a fan of the lighting scheme, the beautiful finish that we have on here is almost chrome-like in terms of its appearance, and it really complements subtle builds as well as kind of those refined builds where maybe you don't want to take advantage of lighting. At the same time, though, here we are implementing our Polymo lighting display, which is actually a multi-layered design. So this evolves beyond just a static kind of RGB animated kind of light cycle, where you actually have multiple patterns that can actually be displayed on the board, which again allow for a really kind of dynamic looking feel to your build. Here we maintain those 12, of course, rear ports that are have on here, including, again, that USB 4, 20 gigabits in terms of the actual Type-C also on this board. You also have 20 gigabits on the Type-C. And also, just like the Extreme here, both of these boards are also going to be offering 60-watt fast charging. So, say, for instance, maybe you get something like an RG Phone 6 and you want to be able to fast charge it from that front USB port, you can do that on this board. We maintain here, of course, also the 5 M.2 support in terms of your PCIe NVMe-based SSDs. That includes Gen 5 and, of course, Gen 5 support for your PCIe-based graphics. And this board similarly also maintains that higher count in terms of the 3 ARGB headers that are going to be on the board that you can connect to so many other items. And in terms of networking, we drop down from a dual networking specification, but still gigabit plus with, again, 2.5G and Wi-Fi 6E on this board. Now, in terms of some other, I think, really important aspects that we want to be able to touch on here is going to be the power delivery on their boards here. There we go. And when we talk about power delivery, it's important to not just focus on things like power stages. It's really a holistic approach that we take. And this includes everything from the PCB design to the actual to power topology, UEFI tuning, the components, and then the thermal solution. All of this comes together to really be able to provide a reliable, stable, and performant design. But here we've really taken it to the next level, and we've gone really high end with our teamed power stage design, which has really kind of been proven by the enthusiast community. So we've got 20+2 that you're going to have on the Extreme, and then an 18+2 on the Hero. And these are going to be featuring 110 amp based power stages. And you're also going to have 10K rated capacitors. That's twice the industry standard in terms of their lifespan, and also featuring even better temperature performance, microfine alloy inductors on there. And both boards will feature very large and robust 2-stage heatsink designs with advanced heat pipe interconnects to really be able to offer great thermal performance. Now, in terms of the overall connectivity, we touched on this, but to recap again, you've got Wi-Fi 6E, 10G or 2.5G, the PCI Gen 5 support for graphics, as well as, of course, robust support for PCI Gen 5 NVMe-based storage, 40 gigabits and 20 gigabits, as well as 20 gigabits on the front internal USB-C, and that 60-watt base charging support. Now, on the audio side, we've gone ahead and made improvements here from the prior generation, which these boards, we were an industry leader, the first to implement isolated audio design, which has now become the industry norm. And we've taken it further for this generation, moving on from the ESS DAC that we had on our prior generation, the 9023, to the new 9218. The 9218, it's giving us actually superior noise floor performance. It's a 32-bit based DAC, superior THD, and superior signal to noise ratio. So it doesn't matter whether you're talking about music, movies, or games, you're going to get a great audio experience built on board. And as always, we're going to bring it to the next level with a really robust software suite to allow you to go ahead and tailor all the aspects when it comes to your audio. And here in terms of Q design, these are just some of the really awesome features that we have on our board to really be able to make the build experience that much better. So this includes another innovation like our Q latch, which has been something that the industry has really responded to in terms of toolless M.2 SSD installation. Keep in mind, we're also maintaining dual-sided heatsink design to be able to make contact with the rear and the top side of your M.2 based SSD. Improved heatsink designs. Our Q release technology, another innovation that we've pioneered here, which allows you to quickly eject your graphics card. Q code for easy debug readout, which you can also have for temperature reporting. Q connector for, of course, connecting to your front chassis leads. And then, of course, a QDIMM single-sided latch design for easy DDR5 memory installation. And then, of course, QLED, which will allow you to easily be able to take advantage of a visual diagnostic system that supplements the Q code. So that overall goes through just some of the awesome stuff that we're going to be talking about here for how we're going to be supporting the AM5 platform launch. And rest assured, we've got more coming in the future. So make sure to go ahead and check out the resource panel that Ryan and the AMD team has available to you there. You can download the deck here. You can download images of both the Hero and the Extreme, as well as visit our website for more information to come in the not too distant future. So thank you very much, Ryan.
Hey, JJ, we do have a little bit more time. I know you're going to use that second camera. Are you going to, can you pull that off?
Yeah,
and just
so
give us
I
a
can quickly
little...
go ahead and just show here a really awesome feature that we have here with the actual Q release technology. So let me go ahead and just show you this right here. And I will be able to go ahead and switch out here. So we can see I've got the actual board right here. Looks great. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is just install this graphics card. And you'll see right there that it's actually locked in place. If I were to pull on the graphics card, it doesn't come out. But the great thing is right here that this button, that's our Q release design. I can go ahead and click on that button and then remove my graphics card. It really makes the actual experience just that much more seamless. And the great thing is that will be present on both of our boards.
Well, thanks for that little demonstration, JJ. Appreciate you. And we do have a number of questions in the room. So please go to our Q&A in here and start responding to people because we've got a number. And again, we are going to get to a number of those at the end of these presentations. Next up, we have Mike, the sales manager at ASRock Europe. He is responsible for the consumer market, main board, GPU, and mini PC barebone. Mike, I'm going to pass it to you. Let's get us started.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning for around the world. Today is, I'm very happy to be presenting for ASRock in this exciting moment of AM5 boards launch. So as all the other colleagues in this AIB forum of AM5, that we do have a full lineup range in presenting in all our 5 different boards. Yet it's a little bit time before the launch, so we will be just giving a sneak preview of all the boards with some features. So it's let's get started on the next one. So as in the indicated that ASRock has 5 different range of products which will be showcasing in this AM5 launch. So we will start first with the ASRock Taiji Carrera. That is ASRock's first top-of-line flagship range. And especially this year, we'll be celebrating our 20 years anniversary. So to simplify, to signify our range of products, we chose one of the most used in the craftsmanship in the global in the global arts, the Carrara marbles as our symbol to launch our product line. Then, of course, the Taiji flagship line, and also the ASRock Steel Legend series, and the ASRock Phantom Gaming and Pro series. So in here, we can see the preview of the boards. The first thing is Taiji Carrera. So we can see from the left side, that's we're using the marble tone color and also finishing of our boards. And in the finished side of the right side is the x670e Taiji, and our Steel Legend series, and then E Pro RS, and E Phantom Gaming Lightning. That's the new latest series of our mid to high range of Okay, so that's our key features. That'll be later after the presentation. I'll just show a little bit how our board looks like. But to keep in our features, the most important is that ASRock is giving a balanced point of view of all these 5 boards. You're talking minimum will be giving USB 4 for Type-C, so it's compatible with Thunderbolt devices. And so that we saw in some previews of some question raised about Thunderbolt that we do have a compatible USB 4 Type-C, that you don't have to worry that your Thunderbolt devices is not compatible. Then, of course, we have the DDR5 with protection circuit, so that your DRAM can have a very stable output, and also when there's a surge of current, you'll be working fine. And there's a layer PCB on all boards of x670e models we're talking about, so it provides stable signal traces and power shapes to delivering lower temperature and higher energy efficiency. And of course, with fast PCIe 5.0 and .2 that we are giving for all starting from the mid-range ones, every board has at least 4 times M.2, so you can move for your integration to SSD from a hard disk, and then to increase better heat dissipation, that we have this M.2 fan heatsink, which I have in this sample that you can see it basically with the fans that give you a better heat dissipation. Yeah, so overall, using, as I have a lot of time left, I just show that what I just stressed before. That's the ASRock mainstream Pro series. And we can see from this side, that's the A-layer PCB. Yeah. And then we can see from here, we improved the heatsink of all those heat dissipation and the extra M.2. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mike. I know there's a few questions in there regarding form factors, so I want to point you to the question and answer to take a look at those and get those answered. And then also to my speakers in the room, stop moving my slides. If you've got next up, we have MSI. So I do see somebody in the room moving my slides. So if you could just keep an eye out on moving slides for me in the room, please. Next up, we have Michael, who is going to do talk a little bit about MSI. He's both a hardware enthusiast and product marketing officer at MSI. When he's not working, he loves fast-paced video games such as Rocket League, Unreal Tournament, and Quake. He's also got I know he's on YouTube every single week. Michael, go ahead and kick it off for us.
Hey, Ryan, thank you. That's correct, indeed. We're on YouTube, but also Twitch, Facebook every week with our MSI Insider live stream. So definitely check it out if you want to have some more in-depth looks into our hardware. Actually, in the resources panel, you can already find a link to our live stream that we did during Computex, where we also displayed some of these new x670 boards that we're showing today. Yeah, first of all, it's great to be here again during another AMD Meet the Experts webinar. Always nice to be here. And I'm very happy to announce our x670 lineup with you guys. Let's first take a look at the different series that we have. So basically, we always divide it into creator models, meaning our Pro series, and our content creation series, and our gaming series, existing of our MAG, MPG, and MEG model. MAG is our Arsenal series, more affordable price performance. Then we have MPG, which is our performance series, a little bit higher position with some of those extra features. And then we have MEG, our enthusiast series, really the top of the line boards with the most extreme features you can imagine in today's world of motherboards. Let's first take a look at some of the, oh, my slide's going back, at some of the upgrades we did compared to our previous generation, of course, x670s. My slide keeps on moving. Yeah, there we are.
Yeah, I think one of our speakers is moving the room. So guys, if you're not speaking, I just want to tell everybody to just not be clicking on our slide room, please. So go ahead, Michael. Sorry about that.
I will find you. Who's it? So compared to our x670s, our previous generation in the X series chipsets, AMD motherboards, we made a couple of huge upgrades. First, of course, very obvious with this new platform, we're going from both PCI Express Gen 4 and DDR4 towards PCI Express Gen 5 and DDR5. So in terms of performance, you can expect quite a boost in certain areas. We also upgraded our VRM tremendously. Our top-end model in the x670S series had a 16-phase, 90-amp power design. Now our top-end model, the MEG x670e Godlike, even features 24 dedicated phases for the V-core with 105 amp smart power stages. So that's really a huge VRM that can easily handle and overclock even the top-line CPUs. PCB materials, 2-ounce thickened copper with up to 6 layers on our existing x670S models. We're going up to 10 layers in this generation. Of course, also has to do with that signal integrity that you need for DDR4 and PCI Express PCI Express Gen 5 and DDR5. Thermal design, a lot of upgrades there. More fin stack heatsink, wavy fin design, and also cross heat pipe design, direct touch heat pipes as well for better heat dissipation of that VRM. And in terms of connectivity, we already had USB 3.2 Gen 2x2, so 20 gigabits per second. Now we're adding power delivery on our enthusiast segment, x670e boards, delivering up to 60 watts of power. More about that later. Let's first take a look at the power design on our MEG x670e Godlike motherboard. So as I mentioned, 24 dedicated phases just to power the CPU, 105 amp smart power stages, so really top of the line VRM. Our ACE comes in with 22 power stages for the V-core. All of those are 90 amp. Then our Carbon comes in with 18 V-core power stages, 90 amp as well. And even our Pro series, our most affordable x670 model, already comes in with 14 smart power stages with 80 amp output. So even the more entry-level boards within our x670 lineup can really power top-end CPUs in this generation. This is our MEG x670e ACE motherboard. In this exploded view, you can better see all the cooling that is present on this board. I also have the board right here in front of me. So let me show you up close as well. So we have a stacked fin heatsink on both the top and the side. Then there is a huge backplate on the back. And it's not just one aluminum plate. There's actually a dedicated MOSFET plate behind this with also thermal pads to help to cool the VRM from the back of the motherboard as well. within, it's a bit hard to see maybe, but within this fin-stack heatsink, there is also a heat pipe, and that's a direct touch heat pipe. So in direct contact with the power stages, there is only a thermal pad in between, but no heat sinks further in between for even better heat dissipation of those power stages. Something we're introducing in this generation is a screwless M.2 shield frother technology. So let's show you a short video of this so you can see how it works. You may already be familiar with our easy M.2 clip on our motherboards, which makes it easier. You don't need a little screw for the M.2 slot to screw the SSD into the slot itself. But now on certain models, we also have the screwless M.2 shield frother, meaning you don't need any screws to install the SSD in your motherboard anymore. You can simply take it off, put the SSD in there, attach it with the easy M.2 clip, and you can basically click the heatsink back on there. I also grab our ACE motherboard right here again to quickly demonstrate you how this works. So that I'm not sure if you can see me again right now. I hope so. So there's actually an SSD in here, and as easy as it was to disassemble this, it's as easy to assemble it as well. You just put it in here, then the easy M.2 clip, you attach it, then you grab the heatsink, you just put it in here, click it down, and it's firmly attached. So that's how easy you can now install your M.2 SSD on the motherboard. I'd also like to talk with you about our new smart button. This is something that on our MPG and MEG series, you'll find a dedicated smart button on the rear I/O, and you can actually assign a function of your preference within the BIOS. So for example, you can use it as a reset button, you can use it to switch on or off your Mystic Light RGB lighting, you can use it for safe boot. And you can actually do the same thing with the reset button on your case. So you can assign separate functions to those buttons. Let me also show you our carbon motherboard right here that has one of these buttons. So you may already be familiar with our clear CMOS and flash BIOS button, and now there is a third button, the smart button on the rear I/O on our MPG and MEG series as well. Something that comes with both our ACE and our Godlike, so both our MEG models, is the M.2 Expander Z Gen 5 dual adding card. And basically, this will provide you with 2 additional M.2 Gen 5 slots. Both can also support 25 110 devices, meaning 25 millimeters in width and 110 millimeters in length, in case SSDs get bigger in the future. On the bracket, you will find an M.2 detection LED as well as a temperature LED. It is equipped with a double ball bearing fan, but on the top left, you can also see some dip switches where you can actually switch it on or off. So if you want to use it fully passive, that's possible as well. Our power delivery on the MEG models can provide up to 60 watts over the front USB Type-C. On the left, you also see our new upcoming MEG Prospect 700R case. This one is also compatible with this feature, meaning that you can not only charge your mobile devices, such as your smartphone or tablet with it, but you can even charge your laptop if it's up to 60 watts through the USB Type-C provided on the case if you're using an MEG MSI x670 motherboard. Then let's take a look at all the individual models. I have most of them right here. So this is our Pro x670p Wi-Fi. So this is not an x670e model, meaning that we provide PCI Express Gen 5 on the M.2 slot, but not on the a graphics card slot, so the x16 slot. With x670, you make the choice. So it's either PCI Express Gen 5 on the M.2 or on the graphics card slot. And we believe that looking at the past generations of SSDs, they will be able to utilize the Gen 5 bandwidth better than graphics cards currently do. So that's why we decided to stick that on the M.2 slot. As mentioned before, it comes with 14 power phase for the... someone's clicking through my slides. Let me go back. There we go. 14 phases for the CPU VRM, 80 amp smart power stages. It has Lightning Gen 5 M.2 support, double-sided M.2 shield frother on the Gen 5 slot, meaning there's cooling on both sides of the SSD, which is getting more and more important with those bigger SSDs that have memory chips on both sides of the SSD. On the I/O, it comes with 2.5 gigabit LAN. Also comes with Wi-Fi 6E connectivity. It's AMD Wi-Fi 6E in this situation. Then there is also USB Type-C supporting DisplayPort 1.4 signal as well over that USB connection. Heading over to our next motherboard, the MPG x670e Carbon Wi-Fi that I have right here. So this is an x670e model, meaning there is PCI Express Gen 5 both on the PCI Express slots and on 2 of the 4 M.2 slots on this board. The other 2 are doing PCI Express Gen 4. It also offers the screwless M.2 shield frother on the primary PCI Express Gen 5 slot. On the I/O, we see 2.5 gigabit LAN again, as well as AMD Wi-Fi 6E. And also over the Type-C, you can get a display signal supporting DisplayPort 1.4 as well. Continuing with our MEG x670e Ace. As you can see, this one is a little bit bigger than the previous ones. So the Carbon and the Pro are ATX models. This is an extended ATX motherboard. Comes with a stacked fin array heatsink, 22 90 amp power stages. It has Gen 5 on one of the M.2 slots. It's actually this one. But it can also support Gen 5 on all these 3 slots right here. And it, of course, comes with an adding card, so you can add 2 additional Gen 5 M.2 SSDs on here. Further on, onboard 10 gigabit LAN as well as AMD Wi-Fi 6E. And last but not least is our flagship model, the MEG x670e Godlike. Unfortunately, I don't have a model on hand right now, but I can promise you it will be hell of a board. It comes with our upgraded M-Vision dashboard with an IPS capacitive touch panel. You can also take it out of there and use it externally. It also offers Gen 5 on both the graphics card slot and the M.2, as well as the additional adding card that comes with this board. In addition to 10 gigabit LAN, it also comes with 2.5 gigabit LAN and AMD Wi-Fi 6E, and of course, power delivery over the front USB Type-C as well. So that was it for the MSI x670 and x670e lineup. If you have any questions, make sure to drop them in the Q&A, and I'll try to answer as many as possible. So thank you for having me here today, and back to you, Ryan.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions in there, Michael. So go ahead and check out that question and answer window and start getting to those. Next up, we have Sophos, who's with Gigabyte. After being an extreme overclocker, he now serves on the motherboard product management team. We were just talking about overclocking just before we got on. I'm really excited. There was just a world record broke with the Threadripper Pro, the WX 5995. But Sophos, I'm going to pass it to you. Let's get started.
Hi, Ryan. Hi, everybody. We're very excited to be part of the AM5 webinar, and we are more than happy to work with AMD for one more time to deliver products with amazing performance. So let me quickly go through the features Gigabyte has for the x670e and x670 Aura series. Starting with our power design, we actually use the latest and greatest components, power components, digital VRMs up to 18 phases just for V-Core, in total 22 phases of 105 amps, digital phases obviously. And all these are necessary to support the high boost clocks of the new multi-core Ryzen CPUs while maintaining stability and low temperatures. Moving on. We have on Gigabyte x670e Aura series motherboards, we have the exclusive stainless steel PCI shielding, which becomes 20% wider and increase the number of iron claws, providing reinforced tensile strength. Actually, next to me, I can show you that on the master motherboard I have here. So we're talking about the PCI slot. So you can see it's wider. So, you know, the graphics cards lately, they become bigger, heavier. So this way, you don't have any fear of breaking the PCI slot or damaging any component around that area. moving on, we have obviously we support PCIe 5 M.2 and the M.2 25 110 form factor, and we reinforce the PCIe 5.0 M.2 slots with metal shielding to provide higher strength. And as you can see on the slide, it's 1.5 times stronger than without the shielding, and obviously the PCIe 5 bandwidth is twice the PCIe 4 bandwidth. Let me talk a little bit about our thermal design. So we feature something we call unthrottled performance, which is guaranteed by innovative and optimized thermal design to ensure the best CPU chipset and SSD stability, and also low temperatures under full loading applications. So we obviously have the VRM cooling with fins array 3, and they are also nanocarbon coating. We have upgraded thermal pads, larger heat pipe, 8 layers PCB. All these help to better cooling efficiency. But cooling is not only important on the VRM, on the power design of the motherboard. It's also very important on the PCIe 5 because these drives, they run very hot in order to achieve the highest performance. So here we introduce the M.2 Thermal Guard 3, which is constructed with 9 times more surface than before. And we have dual-sided heatings with thermal pads on both sides to prevent any throttling. And this way we can always maintain the highest speeds on our M.2s. And let me show you a little bit of the heatsink to understand more the following part. Because we optimized our cooler with grooves, so you know I don't know if you can see the grooves here. So essentially, the airflow in the chassis goes from the right side and exhausts to the left, so the air is able to pass through those grooves, and this way you have better heat dissipation. A new feature we bring on our x670e and x670 motherboards, something we called Easy Latch Plus. So this has to do with adding and removing the M.2 PCIe 5 SSDs. So I can quickly show you here. It's like a toolless mechanism that you just push the M.2 and it locks in place with this plastic clip. And more important, we have the PCIe Easy Latch Plus, which is a PCIe mechanism for graphics cards, and we have a button here, so it's more DIY friendly. You can easily remove your older card to upgrade the VGA. So if I press the button here, the PCIe slot unlocks and forces out the GPU. On the connectivity part of the boards, we feature USB 3.2 Gen 2x2 Type C, which is double the performance than the 3.2 Gen 2, and it works up to 20 Gbps and provides ultra fast data transfer. And this way, the users can enjoy faster transfer speeds and data transfers on massive data transfers. Moving on the network part of the boards, we use 10 gigabit Ethernet and 2.5 gigabit Ethernet. The 10 gigabit is on the extreme. The extreme is this board. It's an Aquantia Ethernet controller that allows you for speeds up to 10 times faster than the regular 1 gigabit speed. This network design is designed for media centers, workstation, and also an ultimate game experience. We also offer Wi-Fi 6E, So it provides, the 6E provides smoother video streaming, better gaming experience, and few dropped connections with speeds up to 2.4 gigabps. And moreover, we have Bluetooth 5 that is 10 times faster than the previous generation 4.2 Bluetooth. Let me quickly show you, we have 4 models for x670 and x670. So we have the extreme model, obviously is our top of the line. All the features are included in this board. Beefed up VRMs, PCIe 5 on both the graphics cards and the M.2 side, all the heatsink design, Type-C up to 20 gigabps, and any other feature you might desire. Obviously, RGB, easy BIOS, easy BIOS plus through BIOS Key Plus technology we have. Then we're moving to the master. Obviously, still top of the line board, less features. We only have 2.5 gigabit Ethernet, but everything else is pretty much in this board, both PCIe 5 for graphics cards and M.2. And then we have the Pro EX, a more affordable solution. Obviously, PCIe 5 only for the M.2 part on that board. And last but not least is the Elite AX, our most affordable x670 solution. And you can see the features on the slides. So on the last page, I have an overview of all our boards with most of the specs that users might want to see. And yes, that's it for Gigabyte. We're very thankful again being here for one more time, and we hope to see you in the future.
Thank you so much, Sophos. We've got some specific questions for you in the room, so go ahead and take a look at those in the room. Next up, we have Annie, who's going to be our last presenter, and then we're going to get to those questions. There are so many questions in the room. We're going to get to as many as possible. We will stick around past the hour to answer as many questions as possible. And just note, of course, this webinar will be made available on demand following the live broadcast. But first up, before we get to the questions, we have Annie Sue, who is the sales manager at biostar. She's had an abundant successful cases for motherboard product applications and IT solutions. Annie, I'm going to go ahead and pass it to you. So get us started with biostar.
Thanks, Ryan. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Annie Xu, a biostar sales manager. It's happy to be here. I'm really excited about this showcase. Thanks, AMD, for the opportunity to share biostar new product concept. Today, I'm going to share our new product, biostar x670e Valkyrie. Here is biostar x670e Valkyrie Premium. Well, hope you enjoy our video. biostar Valkyrie series is a brand new high-end gaming motherboard product line. Stands for Intuitive Grade motherboard. Valkyrie in Norse mythology presents a strong concept. X670e Valkyrie is the first of biostar AMD series motherboard. Biostar Valkyrie series echoes the spirit. We use premium components to support good power delivery, also have lots of game-ready features to deliver higher performance and some functions to make your PC run more smoothly, efficiently, fluently for all those hardcore gamers. Valkyrie, lead us to victory. The key points of AM5 platform: change to LGA CPU socket with 1718 pins and with 2 new features, support DDR5 memory and PCIe Gen 5 slot. Welcome to the new generation. Here is the quick review of our X670e Valkyrie. Here's a quick review. See, X670e chipset, dual chipset, the new AM5 socket to support Ryzen 7000 processor, ATX form factor, 22-phase VRD. We have 4 DDR5 slots, and we have the 3 PCIe by 16 slots, 1 M.2 key to support Wi-Fi and BT module, 6 SATA 3, 4 PCIe M.2, 9 USB ports, and one Type-C here. So I know maybe the video is not very clear to see our motherboard, and let's switch to our slide. Well, the new feature of biostar X670e Valkyrie, the power design includes digital TWM and 105 ampere data modes. And about the speed, we have the PCIe Gen 5 LAN and PCIe Gen 5 M.2 slots. We also have the DDR4 memory support and a low-loose PCB design to protect the motherboard. So let's talk about our power design. Data modes delivers efficiency and performance. PWM delivers stable power and reliability. For DDR5, supports dual channel and lower power consumption. The most important, PCIe Gen 5 supports the dual channel and supports the precise high-speed signal, and we have 2 PCIe Gen 5 M.2 slots. About our protection. For our protection process, we have a A-layer moisture-proof PCB design, super durable choke, and solid capacitors, tough power connectors, and iron slot protection. The fully covered heatsinks. Lots of modes at the north side and west side. We have the pipe design, and we have the Southbridge heatsink, cooling heatsink for M.2, and the audio cover heatsink. All the designs are improved to improve the thermal management. And also about our AITP control. It's a user-friendly environment. Users can adjust the personalized temperature for overclocking and enjoy extreme overclocking performance. Practical. These are the features what are the gamers want. Well, here's display interface, real HDMI 2.1 and DP 1.4. It provides brighter and highly detailed content. And we also have the CPU OPT header. Gamers can connect any kind of the water coolers to enjoy awesome liquid cooling system. For the LED rack zone, we have 2 5 volts and 1 12 volts headers. You can sync with RGB or ARGB peripherals. User can adjust system colors, customize the illuminations, and shine with the music. And we also have the Aurora utility. We talk about the syncing with the LED lights. So we have the Vivid LED DJ. It's to control and sync your customized LED lights. And we have the AI fan control. Users can adjust the fan speed for system ventilation. It supports the CPU fan and system fans for more cooling options. And we also have the hardware monitor. The users can check the CPU and system temperature more easily, ensure their gaming PC can maintain the performance and also have the good temperature. And also we have the smart BIOS update. It's a lot easier for gamers to do the BIOS update. Just connect the USB drive to the selected port marked in yellow and push the update button for like 3 to 5 seconds. When the LED flash blinks, all is done. So if you want to know more about biostar and wants to know more about our new products, please follow us, or you can just leave us messages. Okay, thank you. Hope you enjoy your day, and it's Chinese Valentine's Day today. Thank you for spending time with me. Back to Ryan.
Hey, thank you so much, Annie. Happy Valentine's Day for you. And we're going to get to the Q&A. So I'm going to go ahead and have everybody just turn their cameras back on. We have a lot of questions. So we're trying to get to as many as possible. We'll probably stick around past the hour mark, and just want to remind everybody, of course, this is going to be made available on demand. So I'm going to start with this first question, which is a form factor question. And this is going to be directed to you, Mike. And let me just go ahead and switch this camera angle so I've got it right here. This question, and I've actually got queued up that poll question that you wanted us to ask. So what's the future of small form factor motherboards? And as you're answering that question, I'm going to go ahead and pull up this poll question, which is other than EATX or ATX form factors, what other form factors would you like to see in X670E? So can you answer that question for us, Mike?
Yes, actually, I've been answering several questions already during this. So I believe the interest for the coming am5 micro ATX and mini ATX is very big, especially in high-end chipsets such as X670. Yet, I believe, as people have been discussing about these boards, we're talking about the multiple layers of PCB and those fans heat dissipation. There are some obstacles, or I would say rather interesting points we've been working on for the heat dissipation in such a small form factor. Once we reach a breakthrough, that definitely is on the horizon for us to launch, as in our tradition for every chipset of AMD, we have a mini ITX solution, let alone the micro ATX. This has always been our goal to achieve, so please stay tuned. Thank you.
Let's go ahead and see what the results are. And 35% of people are both saying both the MATX and the mini ITX. So there you have your answer to your question. Let's get to a question for Michael. Michael, will a 2020-80 M.2 fit into the new 25,110 slots?
Yes, no problem. It's the maximum width, and you can adjust based on the length of the SSD. So it's no problem to fit a smaller SSD in the slots that are compatible for 25,110.
All right, let's go to a question for Sophos. Would there be an extreme version of the gigabyte board like the, help me out with the pronunciation of this one, the Tachyon?
Tachyon. Yeah, so I answered this question, but well, not on on X670.
Okay, not on X670. There's your answer. Let's go back. Let's get a couple questions. Let's see if I've got a question for what can you display on the enemy matrix display and OLED live dash display? That's for you, JJ.
Yeah, so you have a lot of flexibility. You can go into the actual software. You can go ahead and put in GIFs. You can put animations. You can put actually text animations. We recently gone ahead and also introduced lighting animation sync support with even our what we call our or a wallpaper. So we actually have dynamic wallpapers, which actually have their own lighting, which can then synchronize with all of our components and all of our products that can also even sync with the display. So a lot of flexibility, and we're going to continue to also kind of evolve the functionality over time with forthcoming updates.
Thanks, JJ. Let's keep rolling with the questions because we got a lot of them. How many PCB layers do MSI X670 motherboards have? That's for you. That would be for you, Michael.
Yes. So for already from our Pro model onwards, it's at least 8 layers. So our Pro model, our Carbon model, and our Ace all offer 8 PCB layers, and our top-end model, the Godlike, even offers 10 PCB layers.
Great. We're going to keep rolling with the questions. This one's going to be directed to you, Sophos. Do your AM5 motherboards support PCIe 5.0 SSDs, and what's your cooling solution for it?
Yeah. So as I demonstrated before, we enlarge the M.2 heatsink, and that's to keep stability at very high frequencies, at very high speed. Sorry. So. I want to also say that we will release a PCIe 5 M.2 probably in later months. So we have done a lot of R&D on that part, and actually good heat dissipation is needed if you want to maintain high speeds all the time.
All right, thank you, Sophos. We are at the top of the hour. We're going to stick around and answer those questions. So I just want to remind everybody, if you have to leave, fill out that survey, register for our upcoming webinars. But we're going to keep with the questions. You can come back in here for the on-demand version, and there'll be a table of contents right below where I'm speaking right now, where you'll be able to skip right to the question and answer. This is a question specific for Mike. Will there be a Aqua version coming to the AM5 platform?
So far, we don't have a plan yet due to the last X670 Aqua successful launch that we'll take into consideration, but not in the first wave.
Okay. Let's go back to JJ. And does the DIMM 0.2 add-in card support PCI Gen 5 SSDs?
Yes, so that's a really cool kind of vertical actual add-in card that we have developed for our Extreme series. So that is now actually updated for PCI Gen 5 support. So that's going to be a really easy way that when those Gen 5 based SSDs come to market, you can go ahead and just remove that. Don't have to worry about touching any other parts of the board. Even if you have a graphics card installed, just go ahead and install it on that card, and then you can install it back onto the board, and you'll be good to go.
Terrific. Let's go to another question for, looks like this question would be directed towards Michael. Are there any X670 non-E boards with PCI 5.0 for PEG gamers?
No, at this point, our only X670 non-E board is the Pro, and that one has Gen 5 on the M.2 slot. Currently, we're also not considering it, but very much depends also what the market wants. So if we get many requests, we may consider it. But at this moment, our X670 non-E board has has Gen 5 on the M.2 slot only.
What makes your AM5 motherboards user-friendly? I'm going to start with Sophos. I'm going to give everybody an opportunity to answer this one. So Sophos, you want to start?
Yeah, so for us, is the newly introduced Easy Latch Plus mechanism we have for the PCIe graphics card slot, and also the M.2 slot. So you can easily add or remove M.2s, and you can easily remove your VGA essentially with the press of the button.
Let's go right to you, Michael. Do you want to take that question too?
Yeah, sure. So as I already demonstrated on our motherboard, we have completely screwless design on certain M.2 slots, meaning both the SSD and the heatsink. Another thing that I'd like to highlight is, for example, on the Ace motherboard, we actually do have some RGB lighting in here. But if you take this M.2 shield frost or heatsink off, you don't have to disconnect any cable. There's actually a magnetic system behind it, so you can easily take the heatsink off without having to disconnect and later on reconnect any RGB lighting on this motherboard.
JJ?
Yeah, so we've talked about quite a number of different features, including those queue design elements. I think one of the cool ones that I want to touch on is the M.2 SSDs. I know that in the poll, a lot of people talked about their interest in PCI Gen 5 M.2 based SSDs. So we've got, of course, as I noted, not only that queue latch easy design, but we have things like secure erase, which is built into the UEFI BIOS, which allows you to actually recoup and maximize the performance for your drive. You have SSD smart monitoring, which is available not only in the UEFI, but also in the operating system. So you can go ahead and make sure that you're taking advantage of knowing how your drive is working. And then, of course, the dual-sided contact design to be able to make sure that you're getting the best thermal performance for those large density drives, especially as you're moving into that 2, 4, and 8 terabyte plus category. That's going to be really important.
Annie, you're up next. What makes yours so user-friendly?
This is biostar's first AMD Valkyrie series. So we have the special designs for everything, like the heatsink. We have lots of heatsink everywhere, and we have the M.2 heatsinks, and we have the audio heatsink. And also, I think I forgot to mention, we have the special heatsink at the backside. So we're not just a hardware solution manufacturer or the brand. We also have the, just like I mentioned about our features, we have some interesting software, and then users can enjoy everything together.
Awesome. And Mike, let's come to you to finish it, wrap this question up for us.
Yeah, I think as everybody else, that all these features for the M.2s in the heat dissipation, and of course, like I introduced in our DRAM, these will make you less succumb to those the rise of the current, and of course, like I say, that all our boards are equipped with 8 layers of PCB that will make you have a more stable. So that will make you less facing less problems. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to leave Aaron out. So Aaron, this is a two-part question. How excited are you about these motherboards, and which one is your favorite?
I'm extremely excited about all of this. It's been great to have these all showcased to our audiences and just showing just the absolute customizability that all of these have for people's rigs, picking the best x670 motherboard for you. And for a favorite, I can't. There's so many good options out there. I'm seeing a lot of people asking about where's the white motifs at. You know, it's people really wanting just options, and that's really what this chipset, these motherboards, are bringing to the table.
Yeah, it's fun to see what they do with the systems. This question's for you, Annie. Does biostar plan to launch the x670e Valkyrie in North America?
Yes, biostar is everywhere.
There you have it. It is everywhere. Let's come back to a question for, this question is going to be for, let's go to Michael. Let's see. Do all MSI x670 motherboards have completely passive cooling? I've seen a few questions about cooling, so maybe you could just talk about that.
Yes, all these boards are completely passively cooled. So not only the chipset, but also the VRM design on all these boards is completely passive. So there's not a single fan on any of our x670 or x670e motherboards.
Okay, Michael, this is Mike, this is a question for you. What are the essential new functions you think we should keep? If no, I think we answered something around form factors. Let's go to another question for you. What is the ASRock 20th anniversary flagship model? Let's go to that one.
Yeah, that's the ASRock Taiji Carrera, which has also answered a little bit question of some people looking for a white motif that our marble white can meet the demand, and it is also, except for our M.2 cooling, that we have also mostly the passive cooling. Yeah. And has 26 VRM power phase to enable superb overclocking capability. Yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna, with these ones, I'm just gonna kind of go through and see if anybody wants to answer this. Aaron, if I say a question I shouldn't ask, go ahead and cut me off. Can someone ask the guests if they're going to offer NVMe to SATA adapters for extra SSD connectivity? Anybody want to take that one?
Yeah, sure. We don't have anything planned. We, MSI, don't have anything planned at this moment. We believe that M.2 is the future of storage. It offers insane speeds compared to SATA. And our current board still offers 6 SATA ports in case you want to take some SATA drives with you from an older system. We definitely believe that for a new AM5 system, there should also be storage that is up to speed with the new generation of CPUs and graphics cards as well.
Question for Aaron, 5000 series Ryzen chips, are they supported with AM5?
So our Ryzen 5000 series chips are based on our socket AM4 platform out there, so not compatible with this new socket AM5. This new socket will be for our Ryzen 7000 series.
Let's keep going. Will there be any motherboards with 2 DIMMs which are focused on sub-zero overclocking? Sofo, since you're the overclocker, let's start with you on that one.
Not sure how to answer. Not on x670.
Okay. There you have your answer. Let's keep going through these. This is a question for you, Annie. Does BioStar plan to launch or no, we already did that one. Are the boards form factors larger? I guess since Mike, you've been talking about form factors, you want to answer that one?
You mean the form factors? Actually, we do provide the ATX and the eATX, so I think it's within the guidance of these product chipsets requirements. So for these form factors, it's for this big chassis like all our colleagues display in those machines. That's a particularly fitting one.
This is a question
So
regarding.
Ryan, I think I can also touch on that quickly, just in terms of just we also have, of course, eATX and ATX-based form factors. But one note we do actually also want to let people know is that we've used the additional space on the eATX to be able to go ahead and implement right-angle-based connectors. But you do want to be mindful that with those connectors, they can present mechanical obstructions within the chassis. So this is the reason why we generally tend to favor ATX because it has the best mechanical compatibility. But if you do go for instance, with an extreme board, just make sure that there's enough kind of additional space to the right that if you have essentially those right angle connectors, that they essentially don't obstruct or don't have any issues with the alignment for the chassis.
This is a question regarding Wi-Fi 6E, and since JJ, you're already up, are there any AIB partners offering boards without Wi-Fi 6E? Are you guys offering anything without the Wi-Fi 6E? I mean, that's a better question.
No, we're committed to. Yeah, we're committed to, of course, Wi-Fi 6E. It's the next generation specification. And of course, us having a full networking division, we have complementary routers. And it is, keep in mind, fully backwards compatible. So while you essentially, to be able to unlock Wi-Fi 6E, you need a Wi-Fi 6E router. You can still go ahead and benefit in terms of Wi-Fi 6 with a current Wi-Fi 6 enabled router. So you still can get the best of both worlds, but if you're willing to upgrade, you're going to get even better performance.
Great. This is a specific question for Annie. Somebody's asking, is the Valkyrie going to be available in Northern Europe? I think you said everywhere, correct?
Yeah, correct. We have branches in North America, in Europe, and in Asia, and we also have retail stores, partners retail store in like Middle East and South Africa. So basically, yes, you can buy our motherboards everywhere. Don't worry about that.
Great. And this goes kind of back to what Aaron was discussing there. Are any of these going to be in the white motif? Anyone? I guess not.
I think from ASRock, Ryan, I can take that. This for ASRock Taiji Carrera is the having a marble color. Marble white color. That probably is the closest one you can find.
Great. Let's see here. What is going to be done to be more efficient in saving power in the designs and at AMD? Does anybody want to take that? Aaron, that's probably a good question for you. What's to be more efficient and save power?
Sorry, can you repeat that question one more time?
What is being done to be more efficient and save power in the design with these motherboards?
You know, we'll go into a lot of that as we do get closer to the fall 2022 era. So definitely stay tuned, and we'll be talking more about that.
Okay, stay tuned. And let's just kind of wrap up a few more questions. If we didn't get your question live, because we are at the 15-minute mark, so I am going to stop the questions right there. We have all these questions, and I'm going to share these with the speakers, and we'll try and get these all answered for you. Before I go, I do want to say, I'm not going to bring everybody onto the screen, but a big special thanks to our presenters who came on today. We really appreciate our partners and you coming on here and just showing off the new motherboards. Also, big thank you to the AMD side of things, Cindy Wu, for helping to organize all this and put it together. Before you do go, check out those resources that are in the resource list, including this presentation deck. I encourage everybody to take a look at the Partner Hub, where you'll find AMD Arena, which is our incentivized learning program where you can learn, earn, and win prizes. Subscribe to that partner newsletter, because that's going to be your opportunity for you to receive all the latest marketing materials right to your inbox, and it's in multiple languages. And of course, we've got in that link, we've got the Meet the Experts in the resource list, the Meet the Experts page, where you can find this webinar and all upcoming and past webinars there. So I encourage everybody to go there and take a look at that. Thanks again for joining. Make sure you fill out that survey. Join us for upcoming webinars introducing AMD noise suppression. That's going to be next week, Tuesday, August 9th. Harness the power of exascale class technology for your business. We're going to be talking about Frontier and those EPYC processors on Thursday, August 11th. AMD and Samsung, Tuesday, August 16th. And then rounding out the month, we're going to be talking about Chromebooks, Thursday, August 25th. Thank you all for tuning in live. I will see you at the next Meet the Experts. Until then, have a great day, everyone. Bye now.